This is actually going to be one of my first videos where I'm gonna try to make like an ASMR video, and I decided what I would do is just go through some conversational cards and just have a conversation about the cards. Just go through the cards and just answer the questions. I decided that would be an interesting thing to do, as something that I just decided that would be interesting. So bear with me, and hopefully as we go through the cards, you can also answer the questions in your head. So yeah, let's just try that out today, and hopefully it goes well. So let's start off with the first card. The first card says, what is the one thing you would like to accomplish in the next year? And I'm gonna say the one thing I would like to accomplish is, actually making more videos like this. The next card. What is your favorite way to spark your creativity or find inspiration? I would say by writing. Writing is how. What is your favorite way to relax and unwind? I would say like grab a drink somewhere. That's usually how. Next card. Are you an early bird or a night owl? I would probably say both, but right now I would say I'm more of like a night owl. I find myself not sleeping at night usually, but usually both, honestly. If you could visit any fictional world, where would you go? Probably Avatar. Pandora. Pandora. If you've ever watched Avatar, you know where they live. Pandora. That's where I would go. What is the funniest Wi-Fi name you've come across? We're going to skip that one. What is the most adventurous thing you've ever done? Definitely skydiving. Definitely skydiving. It was one of them. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? I would say Colorado, honestly. It could be because I'm not from Colorado, but I would actually choose Colorado. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and how would you use it? I would say flying. Flying would be that superpower. Yeah. What is your favorite way to spend a weekend? Honestly, just cruising around in the car, getting a drink somewhere. Yeah, something simple like that. What is one thing you're proud of accomplishing in your life so far? I would say, I know it sounds like kind of like, I would say one night, I decided I wanted to take a walk, but a very long walk. So I walked to a very far away town, and it took me the whole night to get there. So I was kind of proud of that, actually. It was like something I never do. So something like that. If you could replace your feet with any object, what would you choose? I would say roller skates. If you could have any fictional creature as a pet, what would you choose and why? There's a creature called Chupa. Chupa. If you've ever heard of Chupa, that's who I would choose. He's just very cute, honestly. What is your favorite way to give back to your community or to help others? Just by simply being caring. Just by being caring back to the way people are caring to me. Or in a different way, if I can be. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be and why? As I gotten older, I realized engineering would be very interesting for myself. But I'm not an engineer. It's not my background. But it would be related to engineering because I think it's actually amazing how things are made, and nobody really talks about that. As we were getting older, nobody really talked about all the jobs that you can have making things and all the different things that you can make. But there's so many things you can make. It's not just engineering. It's not just engineering with there's so many things you can make, basically. So many different kinds of engineering. So I would say engineering. What is your favorite quote from a movie or TV show, and why does it inspire you? So there's a movie called The Peaceful Warrior. And in the movie, there's a quote that goes, "A warrior is about total vulnerability." So it's just about being open to being hurt. And being open to harm, basically. So I think that's actually one of my favorite quotes, because we don't realize that we usually are opened. Never mind. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why? Just for nothing bad to happen. Just get rid of everything that is bad. Yeah, I know balance is important, but it doesn't really have to be that way, It could always be just good things. If you could have a conversation with a character from a book, who would it be? It's a book about a genocide, and there's a boy. The boy in the story, it's called Forgotten Fire, and it would be the boy in the story, the main character. I would ask him, what was it like to go through all of that? That's what I can think of right now, actually. That's all I can think of at the moment, honestly. If you could replace your hands with any object, what would you choose? Honestly, I'm not sure. But like a lint roller. Honestly, a lint roller would be very interesting. But maybe like a hook. I don't know, something that will help me. I'm not sure exactly what that would be. What is the most embarrassing thing you've accidentally texted to the wrong person? We're going to skip that. What is the one piece of advice you would like to give to your younger self? Just hang on. Hang on that's the advice. What is your favorite way to celebrate a personal achievement or milestone? Just a very simple way, just grabbing a drink somewhere. Yeah, just grabbing a drink somewhere. If you could have any historical event explained to you, which one would you choose and why? The beginning of time. I would really like to know how things really started. It just always blows my mind, where did it all start? Where did it really all start? And how did it all start? It just always makes me wonder. I always wonder about that. What is your favorite way to overcome obstacles or challenges in your life? Honestly, you would think to face them, right? But actually to avoid them. Yeah, I actually like to avoid challenges. But you would think to face them. I mean, we're forced to face them usually. But if I can avoid something, I probably would. What is the silliest thing you've ever done to win a bet? Probably, I bet my Christmas money. It was a lot of money. I bet my money. I won the bet, but I had to share it still because, well, I'm not going to say why I had to share it. I still had to share it still. If you could have any fictional power as invisibility or teleportation, which one would it be? Both are very interesting, honestly. Being invisible can be very cool. But I think it would be teleportation, honestly. It would just be really cool to show up anywhere that you want. And being invisible, I'm not sure. Showing up anywhere that you want is pretty cool. What is the one thing you find most fascinating about human behavior or psychology? I think like how we all fear the same big things. So like very, very scary things, like the big things in life that are scary, we all have the same fears, kind of. So, for instance, like not having a home, losing your home, right? Or something that relates to like natural disasters, like weather can be very scary. So, something like that. If you could have any historical figure as a dinner party guest, who would it be and why? I would say Confucius. Destination. Ask him something like about his philosophies and yeah, something like that. I would ask him that question. If you could have any fictional currency, what would it be and why? It would be time, like actual time. So, like if you've ever seen the movie In Time, in the movie they use time as money. So they literally go around paying for things with time. So that would be the currency that I would use. If you could have a personal robot, what would it do for you? I would just say have it cook and clean for me. If you can have any historical document or manuscript, which one would you choose and why? Probably the Ten Amendments. The Ten Amendments, because it reminds me of my limits. What is your favorite way to inspire or motivate others? Just to remind them of all the good things about them. That's very important. It's very important. It's very important to remind people of what is good about them. So yeah, that's what I would do. If you could have any mythical creature as a guardian, what would it be and why? There's a movie called The Never Ending Story, and in The Never Ending Story, there's a creature called the Luck Dragon. So that's who it would be, the Luck Dragon. Should definitely look it up. He's special. He's big and he's white and fluffy and just very magical. If you could have any famous artist create a portrait of you, who would you choose and why? Monet. Monet is Monet. That's the man. If you could have any animal's ability to survive in extreme conditions, which one would you choose and why? Probably an elephant, because they can survive in heat, very hot weather. If you could have any fictional technology become a reality, what would it be and why? Like eyeglass detectors. Yeah, so you can like figure things out about people right away. Like, yeah, like an eyeglass detector. What is one thing you are grateful for in your relationships? I'm honestly not sure about that. We're going to have to skip this one. What is one thing you appreciate about your ability to stay positive during challenging times? Honestly, I just have to remind myself, it will pass. Just reminding myself it will pass, and just remembering that, just remembering that. I don't know if that made sense or not, but yeah, just reminding myself about that. What is one book that has a profound impact in your life? There's a book called Widening, can't pronounce it right now. Widening Your Circle. And it's about inclusion. So it introduced me to inclusion. So I thought it was it's one of them. It's definitely one of them. If you could have any animal's ability to swim underwater, which one would you choose and why? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm thinking a dolphin, but I'm not really able to think of any other animals, but dolphins, whales, anything undersea. But the first thing I guess comes to mind is dolphins. They can swim pretty fastly, so probably a dolphin. I'm not sure, honestly. What is one thing you're most looking forward to in the next decade? I would say you. Having you share these moments with me. Oh my gosh, my cards fell. Okay, what is the one thing you are most excited about for the future of entertainment? And that is seeing all the different visuals they come up with. That's definitely one of them. So my cards actually fell. I had to pick them up. But here's the next card. If you could have any fictional ability to manipulate weather, what would it be? I would say to make it rain. Making it rain. That's what it would be. If you could have any animal's ability to run at incredible speeds, which one would you choose? A jaguar. Just a jaguar. They can run really fast. What's the most beautiful natural landscape you've ever seen? Myself actually seeing it in person. It's called The Stairway to Heaven. So that's what it was called. Yep. It was very beautiful. If you could witness any natural disaster from a safe distance, which one would you choose and why? I would say, oh wait, hold on a second. I would say fire. Seeing fire from a distance, but yeah, fire is beautiful, but it's very scary if you're next to it. What's the most challenging puzzle or brain teaser you've ever solved? There's something called Rush Hour. It's like it's like a puzzle brain teaser, something like that. So Rush Hour, you should look it up. You should buy it. Everybody should have something like that, actually. I think they might sell it in Barnes and Noble now, but maybe not. I'm not sure. What's the most interesting documentary you've ever watched? It's a documentary called Gyro's Dreams of Sushi, and in the documentary there's a man, and he's very good at what he does, and he works at a restaurant, and his specialty is making sushi. So he says something very interesting. He says something very interesting in the movie. He says, you know, you just have to make sure you show up and do the same thing every day, the same way. And I thought that was very interesting, because most people are always trying to perfect what they do. But I guess he knows what he's doing, so he just has to make sure he's doing it the same way every day. So I thought that was very interesting. If you could have a talking pet, what would you want it to say? Well, I do have a dog, and I wish she would just tell me, you know, how I can make her comfortable. How can I make my dog comfortable? I would want to know how I can make her feel better. If you could have a secret talent, what would it be? Just knowing basically like every language. That would be the secret talent. Knowing every language. What's your favorite outdoor activity? Just taking a walk, honestly. Walking around. If you could have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give? It's similar to what I said before. It relates to like hang on, you know? Yeah, just hang on. That's what it is. Yeah, just hanging on and just letting things pass on by. What's something you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet? How to play every instrument, basically. If you could be any animal for a day, which one would you choose? I would say a bird, because they can fly. What's your favorite way to stay active? Oh, well, let's skip that one. It's kind of like walking. What's your favorite season and why? I really like every season, honestly. Every season is really, really special. But something about snow is amazing. Snow is, like, I love snow. Snow is, yeah, when it snows, it's really nice. What is your favorite childhood memory? Probably the ice cream truck. Every time I see an ice cream truck, I think of my childhood. What is your favorite quote, and why does it resonate with you? There's a quote that goes, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I just found it to be true throughout life. If you could have any animal's ability to hibernate, which one would you choose? A bear. What's your favorite movie? Probably Avatar. What's your favorite way to explore new cultures? I would say trying their food. Something about trying a culture's food makes you understand something a little bit deeper and more.